Rockstar slipped some interesting news in their post yesterday about the latest Grand Theft Auto Online update, and it actually has to do with the physical version of GTA 5 coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. They said on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, exclusive HAL's Special Works upgrades and modifications push a fleet of select vehicles to an entirely new level. Plus, the physical release of Grand Theft Auto 5 on the latest generation consoles is coming on April 12th. Read on for more info. And then when we read on for more info, it says, for those eyeing up a physical release on the latest generation consoles, we're pleased to announce today those will be arriving in stores on April 12th. Pre-order now from the Rockstar Store and other select retailers. So there it is. April 12th is when the game is going to be coming out. It's a couple of Tuesdays from now. I don't know why you would really want to get the physical version unless that's just your thing. I will probably be getting one just to see what it looks like on the inside. Like, I want to see if it comes with like a new map or something like that. And then I'll probably end up giving one away, which will kind of be fun. So maybe we'll do a fun giveaway for that when it does arrive on April 12th. It's going to be $40. It's going to include both single player and online. If you guys are wondering what the box art looks like, here's what it's going to look like for the PlayStation 5. Me personally, I think the gold bar around it looks good digitally, but it doesn't really look all that good when you just look at it on like a physical box. And it looks even worse on the Xbox, as you guys can see right here, because they've got that little notch out there that says for like Xbox Series X and then the Series X logo. It just doesn't look great in my personal opinion, but those are the box arts in case you guys are curious. The physical versions of the game are coming out, which is nice. I don't expect Rockstar to make like a formal announcement on that day, but again, that's why we're going to check out the games. We're going to grab them in person, and we'll end up doing a fun giveaway or something like that in case you guys just want another copy or you want the physical version or anything along those lines. So that was the news that they announced the other day. Now, one of the things we've also been discussing recently is what is Rockstar going to be doing next? Don't get me wrong, the HAL Special Works Auto Shop cars, that was cool. The quality of life changes that Rockstar made, that was cool. But it really wasn't like a formal DLC, and I think a lot of players are anxious to see what is going to be coming next. And in my video the other day, we talked about how Rockstar might be exploring a trip to Liberty City or a map expansion in some way, shape, or form. We went into deep details about how that could work in a previous video. Well, we heard from insider Tez Funds 2 on the GTA forum site, who ended up saying this. The next DLC would highly likely be a continuation of the contract with a new VIP contract. There are two internal tools Rockstar came up with prior to the Cayo Perico update. A free mode creator and a creator specifically designed to handle DJ tracks and such. Not only that, Rockstar designed a system for Dr. Dre's schedule. The length of time he performs at Record A Studios is dependent upon each track length. It's roughly 15 minutes, but simply put, there's more planned for Record A Studios. A new music artist performing there is not out of the realm of possibility. Plus, there's always the possibility Rockstar may let us come up with our own mixes and beats at the studio in the future. So we have a lot to break down there. Assuming the update is going to come in the summer, or let's call it, within the next couple of months, it's very likely going to be another contract DLC, a contract part 2. Now, I have personally speculated that I think it's going to be with either Rosalita, who is the radio host of Motomami FM. Rockstar did a big job of promoting her when the contract came out, but she didn't really have anything as far as involvement goes in the story other than being the radio host. And she's a huge name, maybe not as big as Dr. Dre, but incredibly popular. So she would make sense as a VIP contract or something involving Michael DeSanta, since we know that he's been confirmed to be alive and that Franklin roughly has an idea of what he's doing. Now, the other things that Rockstar came up with is a free mode creator and a creator specifically handled to design the DJ tracks, which would mean Rosalita could make a lot of sense because at the end of the day, she is a DJ, and it would also make sense to have her at Record A Studios. So in case you guys have never been there, Dr. Dre is not in there all the time. He comes at various times and is only there for a certain amount of time. And the way he comes in, it also makes sense for another DJ to end up appearing. Kind of like him or her and Dr. Dre are, switching off time so that they can both be in the studios. So that would not be a shock at all if the contract part 2 is a thing. And we've seen multiple Part 2 DLCs in GTA Online. Now, whether they're directly called Part 2, like Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 or 2, or whether they're just sort of an expansion like Lowriders Customs Classics. You had the Finance and Felony update, the Import-Export update, which essentially built off of that. There's been plenty of DLCs that have basically been a part 2. And then regarding that last part, that's kind of like one of Rockstar's other games. They had Beaterator, which essentially allowed you to create your own beats. This came out before Grand Theft Auto 4. It was sort of a test for their Rockstar engine, just like table tennis. So it'd be interesting to see if they applied some of that technology into Record A Studios so that we could ultimately create our own music. I mean, GTA Online is basically just turning into a nightclub DJ music studio simulator with the addition of the Music Locker and the Cayo Perico DJs and nightclubs. The last couple of big updates have really all been centered around the music, believe it or not. I think it's been also interesting recently that Rockstar has been promoting Rosalita on their social media. So on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, they've been sort of reposting things that she's been doing. I think she was just up for some award or something like that. So I think Rockstar will end up using Rosalita more in some way, shape, or form. Whether she is the VIP contract or whether she's something else altogether. I think she could have a big role in the next DLC. And if she was already in the studio to record all of her lines for her radio station, it would make sense that while she's there, she does some recording for a DLC, sort of a contract part 2. You guys can let me know what you would think about that in the comments down below. Would you like to see something different, like going to Liberty City or something of the likes? Or do you think a Contract Part 2 DLC would be interesting enough? Again, let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. As much as I like the contract, me personally, I'd like to see something different, whether that be the Mile High Club, whether that be mansions, whether that be dipping our toe into an expansion like Liberty City. I think that's what I would like to see versus a contract part 2. Nothing wrong with the agency, nothing wrong with Record A Studios, but I just think players want to move towards something different. At least that's my personal opinion. But again, you can let me know in those comments down below, or better yet, on my Facebook page where you can send messages, photos, videos, and more. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.